Hello everyone, and welcome to my Days of Lives official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Strange days make for strange bedfellows, and it doesn't get any stranger than Kristen from Days of Our Lives. She plays her own game at her own pace, ignoring everyone else. That normally works out for her, but this time she may have made one too many enemies. When Megan and Dimitri first appeared, they posed a significant enough danger to unify the rest of Dimmerus against them. But now that Megan is gone, the other siblings are divided regarding their nephew. According to the newest issue of Soap Opera Digest, Stefan and EJ eventually set aside their differences to try to get rid of Dimitri, only to be thwarted when Kristen protects their new nephew and convinces the brothers to back down. Brandon Barish confesses that the brothers are pretty taken aback that Kristen would trust this unknown as opposed to the brothers she's been surrounded by for all these years. But it doesn't mean they'll give up on removing Megan's offspring, especially if she's still alive someplace. Dimitri is now too much of a wild card. If they can find some common ground and fight a common enemy, says Barish of the brothers collaborating, their sense of survival is much bigger. And what if they have to combat two shared enemies? That simply implies they require a larger partnership. Fortunately, there is another man who is determined to bring Kristen down, Brady. According to Digest, things are about to get heated between Kristen and Brady as she pushes him to his breaking point and he threatens to shoot her. Unfortunately, rather than driving Kristen over the edge, it may tip Brady over. Rachel actually walks in on Brady sticking a gun in the face of her mother. Brady attempts to talk himself out of it, but as Martsolf says, there's nothing he can say to a child that will make sense. Rachel is definitely on Team Kristen, and she lays into Brady pretty hard. Instead, he attempts to shower Rachel with a giant bucket of tough love in order to make her understand that her mommy is not who she thinks she is. That's not going to work. Brady's attempt to negotiate his way out of being arrested by Jada for threatening Kristen's life when she shows there a short time later is probably about as successful. Whether or not he is arrested, Brady's situation has just become much more dire. But would collaborating with the Dimmerus be bad enough? With EJ, the man who sent goons to beat him senseless and who tried to kill him himself, will he ever get so low? Brady's at his wit's end, Martsolf tells Digest, and a desperate parent will go to any length to save their child, even join forces with the enemy to solve a common problem. Kristen. The brothers may not be ready to pull a gun on her just yet, family loyalty notwithstanding, but they could probably live with her being absent from the picture for a while. If they can work together to push Kristen over the line, convince Rachel that her mother isn't a decent person, and finally break Kristen's spell and get her thrown back in prison, then everyone wins. Everyone except Kristen, that is. Brady would have another chance with Rachel, and Stefan and EJ would have another chance to depose Dimitri. That is, providing they are successful, and when it comes to Kristen, it is far from certain. Check out the tangled Dimmerus family tree to see how much conflict exists amongst its branches. I never expected to be taken advantage of by a family member, Tyler Christopher tells Bloomberg Law, but that's what he claims happened when sister Susan Asma Baker placed him in a rehab hospital under guardianship. You may recall that in late 2019, the Emmy winner smashed his head on the back of a bathtub while suffering from alcohol withdrawal, fracturing his skull and causing brain hemorrhage. As he recovered from the surgery, his sibling petitioned to take charge of his affairs. She told Bloomberg Law, "If I hadn't been his guardian, he'd be dead." The former General Hospital as Nicholas and Days of Our Lives as Stefan. Star claims that Asma Baker misappropriated or got inappropriate reimbursement for $40,000 to pay off her own credit card debt, among other things. According to the website, she emailed Christopher prior to the end of the guardianship in 2021, writing, "I would have never done you wrong, not before, during, or after your injury, and for some reason, you think I need your money. I don't think so, Tyler. Sad that you don't even trust me," she continued. That's what hurts the most. Esmo Baker agreed to pay a forensic accountant to investigate her spending under the guardianship this spring. Her initial plea implies that she had no choice except to grab control. She refers to Christopher as a flight risk who aggressively verbalized his intention to leave the facility. Furthermore, she said he was unable to drive or otherwise make decisions for his care or care for himself. Esmo Baker's responsibilities included dealing with her brother's creditors, engaging a lawyer to handle his approaching divorce from his second wife, and selling the family home. According to court documents, Christopher does not doubt that his sister's initial motivation to become his legal guardian was rooted at least in part in a genuine desire to help her younger brother in his time of need. Under the end, he stated, being homeless was a far better circumstance than being in guardianship. After reading this sad story, brighten yourself with the photo collection below, which takes you back to happier days and the golden age of love in the afternoon. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.